History is not forged in the gentle halls of diplomacy, nor in the quiet contemplation of scholars. It is hammered into shape on the blood-soaked anvil of the battlefield. It is a story written in steel and fire, a brutal chronicle of human conflict, where only the strongest, the most cunning, the most ruthless survive to see their names etched into the annals of time. From the dusty plains of antiquity to the fog-shrouded glens of the medieval world, certain individuals have risen above the fray, their very names becoming synonymous with martial prowess, strategic genius, and the chilling art of war. They are the titans of combat, the architects of victory, the personification of death itself. These are not merely soldiers, they are legends. Their stories are a tapestry woven with threads of courage, cruelty, innovation, and an unquenchable thirst for dominance. They commanded armies that reshaped maps, inspired terror that broke the will of empires, and wielded their weapons with a skill that bordered on the supernatural. To ask who among them was the deadliest is to venture into a realm of giants. This is a quest to identify the apex predator of human history. Prepare for a countdown of carnage, a hierarchy of havoc. Our countdown begins in the late 13th century, in a land of mist-shrouded highlands and defiant hearts, Scotland. Under the iron-fisted rule of King Edward I, the hammer of the Scots, a fire of rebellion was kindled. At the heart of that inferno stood a figure of colossal stature, William Wallace. He was not a king nor a nobleman. He was a commoner, a knight of lesser standing who rose from obscurity. His war was not one of pitched battles at first. It was a war of shadows, of ambush and attrition. Wallace understood his homeland as an extension of his body. The forests, the bogs, the narrow glens became his greatest allies. He turned the landscape into a weapon, luring armored columns where numbers meant nothing. He would strike from the shadows, unleash violence, then melt into wilderness, leaving only death and confusion. The Battle of Stirling Bridge, 1297. Wallace and Andrew Murray faced a superior English host and waited. A narrow bridge, 2 horsemen abreast. He held his nerve, let them cross, then gave the signal. Scottish spearmen in schiltrons surged, cut off the bridgehead, trapped thousands. Pinned against the riverbank, knights were butchered. The overloaded bridge collapsed. Legend says Wallace had Hugh de Cressingham's skin tanned into a belt. A message, war without quarter. A year later, at Falkirk, Edward's longbows shattered the schiltrons. Wallace faded into hiding. Yet the name Wallace was whispered in terror across garrisons. Occupation became a nightmare. He proved the English were not invincible, igniting a national uprising. Personal kills, 710. Win rate, 610. Terror, 8.510. Innovation, 7.510. Legacy, 910. Total, 3850. Near a 10 on our list. The Guardian of Scotland leaves our leaderboard blood warm. Soft whisper tale. From Scotland, we journey east to 17th century Japan. His name was Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's most legendary undefeated duelist. He embarked on a Musha Shugyo, over 60 life and death duels, victorious in every one. He won in the mind, arriving late, disheveled, wielding improvised weapons to break rhythm and will. His pinnacle innovation, Nitanichi Ryu, 2 swords as one, 2 blades to parry and strike in one motion, demanding ambidexterity, timing, distance. 1612. Sasaki Kojiro, master of the swallow cut, nodachi in hand. A remote island. Musashi arrived hours late, stepping ashore with a wooden sword carved from an oar. If you have no more use for your scabbard, you are already dead. Kojiro lunged, Musashi evaded, and with one crushing blow ended it. Victory by strategy, psychology, and circumstance. The mind is the deadliest weapon. Personal kills, 9.510. Win context. Elite duels, terror, localized but potent. Innovation, 2-sword supremacy, legacy, Kensi. Each win proved an individual apex predator. Miyamoto Musashi claims number 9. In the heart of the Roman Republic, the gladiatorial schools, ludus, were factories of death. From Thrace came Spartacus, a former soldier forged into spectacle. He saw potential, organized resistance armed with cleavers, spits and knives, then erupted into freedom in 73 BC. On Vesuvius, he descended unseen, routed a praetor's camp, seized Roman arms, and transformed. The Third Servile War had begun. Guerrilla ambushes and rapid marches outmaneuvered legions. Consular armies fell, eagles captured. The ranks swelled, slaves, peasants, up to 120,000 souls. He sought escape, not empire, but Rome sent Crassus. In 71 BC, the revolt was crushed. Spartacus fell. His legacy, immortal defiance, rebel commander, terror to citizens, innovator in improvisation and mobility. Spartacus stands at number 8. In the twilight of the Viking Age stood Harald Sigurdsson, Hardrada, the hard ruler. At 15 he bled at Stiklestad. Exile forged him, not broke him. In Kievan Rus, then Constantinople, he rose to command the Varangian Guard. Campaigns, plunder and fear. Harald, the emperor's blade. Imprisoned, he escaped Miklagard, returned rich, married power, and claimed Norway. A war king at sea, raiding Denmark, leading from the front, giant with axe and heart-biter. He stormed into England, victorious at Fulford. 5 days later, at Stamford Bridge, Godwinson's army arrived. Vikings unarmored, surprised. A lone axeman held the bridge, then fell from below. Harald fought in the front. An arrow struck his throat. He fell, the Viking age with him. Personal ferocity high. Win record scarred by Stamford, terror and legacy immense. Hardrada holds number 7. Sparta, a society engineered to forge the finest soldiers the world had seen. Leonidas was not distant royalty. He survived the Agoge, served in the ranks, earned absolute loyalty. Xerxes amassed an army to finish his father's conquest. Thermopylae, narrow pass, shield to shield. Leonidas chose terrain where numbers died. For days the Spartan line bled, but held. Steel, discipline, contempt for odds. Betrayed and encircled, Leonidas chose defiance, death as message. A tactical loss, a strategic legend, Thermopylae lit the Greek flame, personal kills, elite. Win rate, limited, terror, iconic, innovation, terrain and discipline, legacy, colossal, Leonidas at number 6. Our Subutai, son of a blacksmith, rose by raw talent to become Genghis's most brilliant general. Feigned retreat, cavalry charge, horse archery, he conducted them as a symphony of destruction. Scouts mapped rivers that freeze, nobles who betray, granaries to starve, knowledge as scalpel. With Yebi, he led 20,000 around the Caspian, smashed Georgia, annihilated Cumans and Rus at Khalkha, then vanished. A decade later, he returned with over 100,000. Europe would not forget. 1237, across the frozen Volga, Ryazan, Vladimir, Kiev, besieged, stormed, razed. Terror not as chaos, but as policy. One wing crushed Poland at Legnica. Subutai drew Hungary to Mohi, a 6-day feigned retreat to the Sajo River. At night he encircled the camp. While one bridge drew the eye, his main force crossed a secret pontoon. Arrows and firepots rained, European knights trapped in a killing maelstrom. He left a deliberate gap. Panic routed through it, and fresh cavalry butchered fleeing remnants for days. With Poland and Hungary shattered, scouts neared Vienna. Only Ogedai's death turned them back. Win rate, near perfect. Innovation, legendary logistics and operations. Impact, continental. Subutai, the Mafai, mastermind of the Mongol war machine. From Meccan cavalry foe to Islam's unstoppable commander, Khalid earned the title Saif-Ullah, Sword of God. At Mu'tah, with commanders fallen, he took command. Feints, rearguard shuffles, illusions of reinforcements, he saved the army. He crushed apostasy at Yamama. Brutal close quarters, garden of death, breached. In months he broke Persian forces in Iraq. Walaja's double envelopment rivaled Cannae. Speed and audacity, using the desert as his highway. Ordered to Syria, he crossed the waterless desert in 6 days, emerging behind Byzantine lines. He bypassed sieges, destroyed field armies, cities fell without them. Yarmouk, outnumbered for 6 days, his mobile guard plugged gaps, countercharged, appeared wherever needed. In a dust storm, he launched a massive flanking strike. Byzantine cohesion shattered, infantry driven toward a ravine, systematically destroyed. Yarmouk ended Byzantine Syria, win rate, flawless, personal ferocity, inspiring, innovation, operational audacity, legacy, towering. Khalid ibn al-Walid, Tafifor. We step from history into legend, Achilles, whose name defines martial perfection. He chose a short, violent life for immortal renown. His invincibility, a metaphor for supreme skill, a whirlwind of bronze and death. Insulted by Agamemnon, he withdrew. The Greeks faltered until his rage returned. Hector led the Trojans. Achilles' return turned the tide. He is the Western archetype of the one-man army. Personal kills, mythically supreme. Win rate, narrative absolute. Terror, legendary. Innovation, symbolic. Legacy, immeasurable. Achilles stands at number 3. A name whispered in dread from the Pacific to Europe, Genghis Khan. He reshaped continents, erased civilizations, redrew existence. Cities razed, fields salted, populations slaughtered or scattered. Terror by design. Yasa forged meritocracy, decimal armies, horse archers perfected feigned retreats, absorbed siegecraft. Western Jia, Jin, Karakitai, Khwarezm, unmade. Terror, perfect. Win rate, near peerless. Innovation, astronomical. Command responsibility, tens of millions. CEO of slaughter. We have reached the summit, the final name on a list of terrifying killers. King at 20, conqueror by 30, legend at 32, never losing a major battle. He led from the front, wounded by sword, arrow, siege missile, first into the breach, his deadliness, the hammer and anvil, phalanx pins. Companion cavalry smashes the flank and rear. At Tyre, he built a causeway through the sea, breached the walls, and crucified 2,000 as a message. From the Aegean to the Indus, combined arms, terrain mastery, relentless drive. Win rate, perfect. Innovation, immense. Personal kills, staggering. Terror, brutal and strategic. Final score, 48.750. He is the deadliest of them all. From the misty glens of Scotland to the sun-scorched plains of India, we have journeyed through millennia of conflict. These 10 are the titans, the paragons of lethality, our attempt to quantify the unquantifiable. Who did we miss? Who would top your list? This is Deadliest. Comment your number 1 now. 10k likes to ask 1 hour version. Subscribe or the Claymore finds you.